Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sense of South Jersey with me, Kellen. And of course, today we're going to do another fragrance review. So the temperature here in South Jersey is actually getting a little cooler. I can tell, so I'm going to start breaking out the fall fragrances now, thankfully and finally. I would say it's consistently in the high 60s now, as opposed to what it's been over the summer, which was in the 90s and high 80s often. So I'm excited. Tomorrow is the first football Sunday, you know what I mean? So let's go Patriots. Let's get another one. Let's get that number 7 this year, too. But again, this is for fragrance review, not for football. So what we'll do today is we're going to take a look at an Italian designer that I love, not only for the clothing, but for the fragrances as well, too. This is a particular one that has been, in my life for a long time, that actually my dad wore, and I was always in the bathroom in my parents' house when I lived with my parents, when I was younger, and had, would go in there, spray it, smell it, really enjoyed it, and it is none other than Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. So this is a 1999 release. It's classified as a woody, floral, musky fragrance. So what we'll do, as always, we'll take a look at the box and bottle presentation. I'll talk about what the notes, and then, its performance, my personal thoughts, and my overall rating. So we'll get right into it here. Presentation is pretty simple, for the box. So you got this kind of magenta, dark red color here, Salvatore Ferragamo going vertical, Pour Homme to 3.4 ml, so eau de toilette concentration, 100 ml. So we have here nothing on the top and sides, really. On the bottom, you got your batch and barcode, and then on the back, you have Salvatore Ferragamo Parfum, and then you have just some brand information. And again, 3.4 ounces and 100 ml. So, pretty basic box, but let's take a look at the bottle. The bottle actually is pretty cool too. So not many bottles I've seen designed this way. So it's a transparent bottle. You can see how much juice you have. It's pretty cool because it's got this twist to it too. So it kind of like turns upward. My girlfriend actually has the women's version of this one too. So, and that's a much thinner bottle, but this is nice heavy duty glass for sure. Salvatore Ferragamo written here, embossed in the glass. So it's a quality bottle. There is a sticker here with some information there. You can see Salvatore Ferragamo written there. Silver metal top here, cap. You can actually hold it by the cap, but again, it's heavy. The cap does click into place, so I wouldn't recommend it. So you can hold it, but like you saw, it can fall. So that's why I don't like to. And the cap is pretty small too, so it pops off, but again, does click into place. Small atomizer here, kind of not very pronounced. Let's take a look at the distribution. Pretty good distribution on this one. But yeah, this opens up, very floral and fig. This is figs, lots of figs. So if you like figs, which I do a lot in food and just the scent in general, you're going to like this fragrance too. So presentation is pretty cool. The notes, you have caraway and the top, African geranium, fig leaf, of course, grapefruit, neroli, and I think there's Brazilian rosewood from what I read. So I wrote a couple down, of course, so I'd make sure I had them in front of me. The middle notes, you got carnations, orris root, jasmine, rose, and cardamom, and in the base, you got leather, sandalwood, musk, vetiver, and cedar. So pretty complex fragrance. Some of them are more pronounced, definitely the fig leaf. I get the, in the dry down, a lot of the leather and sandalwood, I think, too. And, of course, in the opening, of course, the figs, like I had mentioned, and the floral notes, too. So performance on this particular fragrance is actually really good. I get about 8+ hours on it. I think then it becomes kind of a skin scent. It's a little heavier, so that's why I think for the fall, it's a great fragrance for the fall, as opposed to maybe like the dead of summer where it's hot, because it's pretty heavy again. So you wouldn't really want to utilize this in high heat. So now that it's getting cooler, I think this is a great fragrance for that. In terms of the performance, it performs really well too. So I like that 8+ hours. It's not overbearing. I would say your sillage is good for the first 3 hours, but along with that and the projection, people are going to smell it. And then I would say maybe within an arm's distance reach of you, then that's how much in your immediate area, people will notice the fragrance. And then after that 8 hours, it kind of comes like a skin scent. But at the same time, I've had it when I've gotten home from work later in the evening, I'm still getting whiffs of it too. And I don't have to dig my nose into my arm too. So, which is pretty cool. So this is good performance. I'd say the occasion for this would be a semi-formal. This is a great work scent. Could be a fall signature scent. It's quickly becoming that for me. I haven't seen a bottle of this in a while, so when since I've had it, when I was younger, so I made sure to pick it up. I think it's best for the daytime, but you could wear it out if you wanted to wear it out for like a formal dinner or something like that. You wanted to have it on. It's a good fragrance for that. I really enjoy the scent. I love the smell of fig leaves, and I like the performance. And I think it's a great for the fall season, like I mentioned. But it might not be for everybody too. Maybe some people might find it cloying, or they find it a little bit too heavy. They don't like the fig scent because that's definitely maybe a type of note that takes some getting used to, and it's not in many fragrances either. There's only a few. So a couple that I can think of the top of my head is Acqua di Parma, Spicco di Amalfi, and then of course there's this one, and maybe that's it really in my experience that I've had with fig fragrances. So this one I thought was one that stood out, and it's designer, but it's unique at the same time, which is what I'm all about. I like this ones that smell differently too. So I enjoy this one, and it is a designer, but it's not that aqua blue over-the-counter typical cool water-esque fragrance, you know what I mean, from a designer that people will wear all the time. So I think this one has its place in terms of season and occasion, and its scent is pretty unique too. So overall, my rating, presentation, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The box is pretty simple, but I think the bottle saves it. I really like that curve to it. It looks cool on any countertop, and definitely is a nice conversation starter for sure if it's out and about in your home. So presentation 8.5. I'll say performance 8.5, and the smell an 8.5 too. So 8.5 across the board, solid performance. If you don't have this fragrance, definitely pick it up. This is probably my favorite from Salvatore Ferragamo, and after that's going to become Acqua Essenziale Colonia, that one. And then the other ones are so-so. The other ones kind of fall into that kind of blue aquatic fragrance that I'm not too big of a fan of. So I think that this one is a solid performer as well, and I enjoy it too. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I don't know if you guys have ever had this particular Ferragamo, or if you had any other Ferragamo fragrances, but let me know. And let me know what your thoughts are for fall. Hey, should I keep doing the individual reviews? Should I do a list of a bunch at a time? I'm kind of debating on what I like to do. I like to do the individual ones because I can kind of focus on one fragrance at a time and get the most info out to everybody about that, like I did with this one. But keep smelling good, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.